This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, feline friends. This is Michelle Fern, your host on Cattitude. Today's show is the first show of what is going to be a semi-regular series called Cat Cafe. And in this series, we're going to talk about cat stuff kind of on the lighter side. My very first guest is going to be one of my favorite show hosts on Pet Life Radio, Arden Moore. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There's no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, radio.com, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Cattitude. And today we're knocking off this new series called Cat Cafe. And I have with me Arden Moore. She is the host of Oh Behave on Pet Life Radio, which is a great show if you haven't had a chance to listen. So many good things. I can't even begin to list them. Arden, can you tell people a little bit about your show and just all the wonderful things? You do so many animal things, that I first aid and so many. Can you tell people a little bit about you and your show?
Well, I'm just glad my last name is Moore, because that's what I do in the pet world. I jokingly say I wear a lot of collars in the pet world because I write books. I host the Oh Behave show. I'm a master in pet first aid, and I'm very, very doggone lucky because I have a dog and a cat, Kona and Casey, who helped me teach this veterinary approved class. In addition, I host a show called Meowie Hour. And I got to tell you, the Oh Behave show, we have been on the air since 2007. So we are the longest running pet podcast on the planet.
Wow.
And we have over 400 shows, and I love doing it. And special paws up to the Wizard of Paws, the producer of Pet Life Radio, Mark Winter. So I'm glad to be on your show, Michelle.
Well, I'm glad to have you. And I know we're going to touch on this at the end also, but you said a little bit about Meowie Hour. So can you just tell us a little bit more about that real quick?
Yeah, just kind of developed due to wonderful COVID-19 times where everybody's stuck at home and aren't able to travel. The Cat Fancier Association, CFA, is the largest cat registry on the planet. And so they're really reaching out to not just purebred, but mutt cats. And so they invited me to host every week on Facebook Live, and then it airs also on YouTube, a show called Meowie Hour, which also is co-hosted by my ginger boys, Casey and Rusty, and features the CFA's Kathy Black and Teresa Kiger. And each week we interview guests, and then I have a secret talent. I am a licensed bartender. So at the end, I create a kitty cocktail. Sorry, kitties, you can't drink it. Only two-leggers can. And we all raise a glass and we toast to all cats everywhere. So if you could ever be on the show, Michelle, I might make you a Moscow Mew.
Wow. I didn't know you were also a bartender. You have a lot of hidden talent. Because,
like I said, the last name is
author.
Moore.
Right. I mean, wow. Okay. I'm going to have to tune in. And also, if people want to find out more about you, and again, we'll mention this a little at the end too, but where's all your info based?
Oh, thanks. Just the launching pad would be ardenmoore.com. And then from there, they can get all the other links. But thanks.
Okay. And I feel like super humbled, but I'm just a show host. I haven't written
No,
any book.
don't ever say that. Do you know how hard it is to host a show? And you have not one, but two shows. So I really appreciate being a guest on your show.
Thank you so much. And thanks for coming on Cattitude. Cattitude's been on the air since, I believe, 2010.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And first it was hosted by Tom Dock, which was a different kind of show. And then I took over 2017 and have had a blast. Have learned a great deal about cats. And then I also host Best Bets for Pets, which is our product show. And that I've been hosting since 2010. And I was just thinking, it's been, 10 and a half years now. And I have had, you name it, it's been on this show because there are so many crazy products. I think I've had 40 bowls. I don't know how many leashes, how many toys, how many my strangest was some kind of thing that enabled you to talk to your fish, and they were based in France.
Ooh, c'est bon.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
that's it. So, my French teacher from high school is like, really, Ard? That's all you can come up with is c'est bon? You don't even know the word for fish? No. I know it's pescado in Spanish.
I don't know what fish is. I know oui or très bien, bonjour, bonsoir. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Hey, when we have cats, you're multilingual anyway, because we got to learn to talk cat, right?
Yes. And so let's start off with some funny cat stuff, because we are recording in early 2021 and it's still a strange world. We're still dealing with pandemic. It's been a rough year. Starting off, it was rough last year. I keep saying rough. I should say meow. So this is going to be fun, this show. It's something to laugh about your cats. That's what the goal is, So what do you think, Arden? Time for some laughter? Like, you have Meowing Hour, which must be, I have to tune in because that sounds like so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. And the cliche, the saying, laughter is the best medicine, is so true. But let's bring it home a little even deeper. If you're lucky to have a cat or more in your house and you have a sense of humor, you are lowering your blood pressure. The power of the purr is lowering your heart rate. And yeah, we live in a pandemic, but don't kick your humor to the curb and watch your cats. Let their antics make you laugh. And they're good medicine. Cats are good medicine.
So true. Even when they do their crazy things.
Well, they do crazy things, but then they're like looking at us humans going, really? You only have 2 legs. You don't have any claws. You can't leap 8 times your size. You don't have a flexible spine like we do. What are you doing, human?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like you're just there to feed me, pet me when I let you, and give me a treat every so often.
Well, there's some cats that are mamas that do bond with us and all that, but they're just like people. They come in all different personalities, or I guess, as pardon the pun, personalities. So think about it, Michelle. You got grumpy old men cats. You got needy cats. You got jock cats. Doesn't it sound like people?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got some cool cats. I know one of them that's a darling is Dennis, right?
Dennis is like, this is something funny about Dennis. He was my first cat. And literally how I found Dennis, I opened the door. He walked in. Exactly that. We heard purring outside one night. It was cold as South Florida gets. It might have been 40. It was one of these freezing nights here. And opened the door. He walked in.
Wow. Well, you know what? Nothing is better in a form of flattery than to have a cat pick you. I like to say to people, dogs put the D in drool, the O in obey, the G in goofy, and the S in seconds, please. But cats put the C in candid, the A in attitude, the T in tenacious, and the S in so what? So when a cat likes you, that's the real deal.
Well, the funny thing about Dennis is he was the very first cat that I had. And I was not a cat person. Didn't grow up with the cats, grew up with dogs. And now there's this cat. And at that time, me and my significant other did not live together. And he liked the cat. I said, you take the cat. I don't want the cat. I don't know how cats work. I don't know how they do litter box. You take him. So, and we also, with Dennis, we looked forever to try to find out where he might be missing. Put up signs. We got him scanned. Right. Going to the Humane Society, we didn't secure the crate as well. And so it shook. Well, you know what happened. Number 2 in the car, driving with your head out the window to get to the anxiety. I get there and I said, you have to help me. You have to rinse this out. You have to, they go, we don't do that. I said, I carried on like a lunatic. So they found those and everything. He wasn't chipped. Nobody claimed him. I don't know if somebody abandoned him, but he is the best cat ever. And the funny thing, the thing that I guess did not really prepare me well for how cats were, is that I thought all cats were like him. I even told a neighbor, I said, your cat is just a biatch. My cat is great because he's part Maine Coon. And they're, you know, I know cats are not like little dogs, but Dennis is kind of like a little dog. He's so sweet. He doesn't hiss, he doesn't claw. He's like very dog-like for cats, which me, for having my first cat, I thought, oh, cats are great, they're easy. Then I got more cats and I realized Dennis is unusual. You know, not
suddenly Dennis's stock value rose because you realize, Maine Coons are really super mellow. They call them the gentle giants of the cat world. Nothing bothers them. And so I think you were, pardon the pun, doggone lucky that Dennis picked you to be his pet parent.
Very lucky. And then my cat world grew to include Molly, who she chooses to allow me to pet her. I feel, you know, honored. And Charlotte, and they're the indoor cats. And then Sammy and Jethro are the parents that are outdoors because they're kind of feral cats and they're a couple. So they have their house outside, a little heating pad, food, flea treatment, you know, they get everything, but they're outside because we can't break them up.
No. And you're doing the right thing. We have an outdoor cat named Baxter. They call them community cats. And we have a little cat condo for him on our porch. He knows all the neighbors. And I swear he wears an invisible watch because Julie gets up and feeds all the pets at 5 a.m. because she starts a shift early. And he is on the porch. And then I feed everybody around 5 p.m. and Baxter's on the porch. So don't tell me cats don't know time.
Oh, they know time. Dennis walks on my head if I'm getting up too late to tell me that it's time to feed me.
Right. Well, hey, you know, one thing about cats, really, sincerely, we could take a lesson from them. They're candid. They don't pussyfoot around. They're like, yeah, no. So we can learn something about them. You know, it's okay to be candid. You don't have to be rude, but it's okay to speak your mind. And cats do that.
Exactly. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to be right back after this message. Hey everyone, Michelle Fern here. Macmillan Audio presents When Harry Met Minnie, a memoir from Martha Teichner, CBS Sunday morning news correspondent. Martha's story is about a chance encounter with an old friend that forever changed her world. When asked to take in the beloved French Terrier, the breed of her own dear dog Minnie, from a friend who is dying of cancer and desperate to find a new home for Harry, the rest is history. It's so much more than just a boy dog meets girl dog fairy tale. What transpires is a deep and meaningful friendship between two women with complicated lives and a mutual love of bull terriers. In this rich and touching narrative, Martha considers the way our stories are shaped by the people we meet, the profound love we can find by opening our hearts to unexpected encounters, and the mysterious ways a beloved pet can bring people together. Order When Harry Met Minnie today, wherever audiobooks are sold.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Cattitude. We're talking about kind of all things cats and a little cat humor with Arden Moore, who is the host of Oh Behave on Pet Life Radio. So get ready for some laughter. Okay, Arden, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite jokes.
All right.
Cats. Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see I bet you know the answer to this one. What's a cat's favorite color?
I don't know. What?
Purple.
Okay. Well, I got one for you. You know, do you really want to hear a bad joke?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Just kidding. Oh, geez. Okay. All my college professors right now are probably going, really? She earned a degree from Purdue and she gets more jollies from telling bad cat jokes. All right. You got another one?
Yeah, this kind of fits in with yours. What do you call a pile of kittens?
I don't know what.
A meowton.
All right. Drum roll. Now, I'm going to share with you and only with you and all your listeners my all-time favorite cat joke. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Why don't cats play poker in the jungle?
Why?
There's too many cheetahs.
Oh, that is great. That is number one.
My cat Rusty right now just put his paw to his eye like, no, I live with her. No, please. Cat dignity is all on the line.
Hey, jokes are good. You need jokes.
Yeah, you do. And cats actually do have a sense of humor. I've written a number of cat books, and I've had the pleasure of working with some of the leading veterinarians and veterinary behaviorists. So I'm always learning about the felines. And the one thing, though, different than dogs, is cats don't like to be embarrassed. So I'm going to ask you something, Michelle, and you tell me if that is something you've noticed or pay attention to moving forward. If something happens to one of your cats, like Dennis or Molly or Charlotte, and they accidentally slip off a table, no harm, but they look goofy and you start laughing. If that happens to most cats, they immediately start grooming themselves like nobody saw it. It didn't happen. But again, if a dog does something silly and you laugh, they go back and do it again for applause. But with kitties, they don't like to be the butt of a joke. What do you think?
I'm trying to think. I wonder if I've ever noticed that. Now I'm
Yeah, so if they do something silly, like they misjudge something, no harm. We're not harming any kitties, but they slip or they miscatch a thing. A lot of times they'll start grooming as a way to return to dignity status. But if a dog, does something goofy, like I got Kona, my terrier mix, if I throw a ball and it lands in the bucket or something, she'll go back and keep going and laughing and more. But the cat would be like walking away grooming.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dogs are okay to be the goofies of the world.
Yeah.
And the cats are saying, "Oh, me, I didn't do that. That's too
right. That's right.
I'm too elegant."
There you go. So what's a quirky behavior you want to talk about for our listeners?
Okay, here's one thing that I've heard about, and I'm not so sure how this works, and I bet you have some great insight on this. When cats are staring at you, you know how all of a sudden they'll just start staring? And then I've heard that when they wink their eye, it means they're sending you like a little love message, or I've heard that it's called a kiss or something.
Yeah, and it's up to us to do it back right. So this is like cat-human dating. So don't blow it, everybody. So when a cat sits and looks at you and has very soft eyes, and then you see their eyes slowly close and slowly open, that is the feline equivalent of a doggy kiss to you. This is a cat saying, okay, human, you're pretty cool for only two-leggers. And the worst thing you could do is to exaggerate your wink back. Don't go spastic. Do a soft wink back without saying any words. And the cat will get it. And the cat will be like, yeah, you had me at wink. So don't act like you got something in your eye and exaggerate your opening and closing of your lids.
That's pretty cool. Because
they do love us. I have a BFF. He is a ginger boy named Casey. He's the one who helps me teach first aid. He also is a certified therapy cat, and I call him my BFF, and that stands for Best Feline Friend. He's the most affectionate mama's boy cat I've ever had. He comes when I call him. He cuddles with me. And we have amazing conversations. He'll just start talking and we just go on and on.
See, only Dennis of my trio that's in the house are cuddly.
Yeah.
Molly, you know what I've learned is that you have to take each of your cats as they are, because they're all, like you said, we were talking earlier, they're all different. Molly does not like to be picked up. She just, don't touch me is her motto. But
she's the Greta Garbo of cats. Yeah. Well, in a way, it's environment and nature and nurture. So depending on what happened to her when she was a young kitten, and there's a key socialization period when they're very, very young, just a few weeks old. And then again, as they get a little bit older, depending on what happens during those socialization periods, does make an imprint on how they act. There's also cats that may not ever want to be touched. We say, I had a calico named Callie, who they say calicos are like a box of chocolate. They're sweet on the outside, but nuts on the inside. And they really are. And it took Callie till she was 10 years old to finally feel safe enough to let people who visited pet her. She was great with me, but she was the doorbell rang, she was a speed bump under my bedspread moving. So I'm just saying there's hope for Molly. They do it on their own time schedule.
I think she might grow into it when she gets older and she's 4.5. She is the only one of all my cats she was born in front of my door.
Wow.
And she was socialized, I thought, when she was just weeks old, very tiny, but maybe not enough. I don't know. She comes near you. She likes to be near people, but you can pet her, but do not pick her up. Do not.
Well, and that's, you know what? That's her rule. And that's not a bad thing, because when she feels like you respect that, other opportunities, she might even just rub against your leg. She might want to sit on the sofa next to you, but not on your lap. And these are all big, big progress signs for a cat. We're just not as patient as cats. So I have good hope for Molly.
Yeah, she's sweet. She comes near you. She's the only cat that comes and sits on the sofa when it's, down TV veg time, more so than any of the other cats.
Well, then champion the message I think we're all hearing from you is champion the qualities we like in our cats. And just like we can't make our kids be star baseball or football players or whatever, if they want to rather be in the band playing the tuba, we got to let our cats show us what their preferences are and their likes and build on those.
Exactly. What is one of the quirky behaviors you like or find interesting in cats?
Well, I like elevator butt. I'm going to go to the south end of a cat. Many of us, we're petting our cat and we stroke along the spine. And as we move our fingers down the spine, all of a sudden we feel their back end start to rise and the tail goes straight up. It's a comical condition known as elevator butt. And for the cat, that means, oh, that's a good spot right there. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. It also, I know this is disgusting for us, but purely normal for cats. They're actually giving you an invitation to take a whiff from their south end, from their butt end. Obviously, I'm not doing that, and I'm sure you aren't either. But if you ever know, cats smell each other's butts just like dogs smell butts. It tells them so much. They know exactly what you had for breakfast. They know if you've been spayed or neutered. They know if you're a nice cat or a mean cat. There's just so much you can download from one whiff from the south end. I'm non-partisan, but I would say if we could sniff the butts of politicians and got the real deal on what they were all about, we would have the world's best operating government on the planet. True. How about that? We could have a whole new can. Sniff my butt.
Right. You know what? I wonder about the butt part because Dennis and Nikki, who's Havanese, they grew up together I think they were together the first 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And Nikki does that. And Nikki's a dog. He does that too. Did he learn that from Dennis?
Yeah. Cats and dogs, when it comes to the sense of smell, they outsmell us amazingly better. They can, if you dropped a Cheeto in a swimming pool, the only ones that knew that could smell the Cheeto are your cats and your dogs, not us. They also can outhear us 10 times. So if you're trying to sneak open a bag of Cheetos or whatever in your upstairs bedroom from the rest of the family, the only ones that could hear that you open that crinkle sound are your cats and dogs. So they'll be there. Have you ever noticed that you try to do something and maybe Dennis is right there? Like, I heard you.
Yes. And it is not the kind of the Trader Joe's, what I call healthy version of Cheetos. I open them and
less guilt.
Look, and there's Dennis.
That's right.
Out of nowhere, there he is. Every single time.
You can't cheat with a cat around.
No.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the other thing I like about cats is some of them can talk. not all, but when it comes to vocalizing, our cats, do you know our cats out-talk dogs? I mean, you've got dogs, I've got dogs. How many different sounds do you think really your dogs make?
Now we just have Nikki, and he just has an annoying bark. So I think 2, okay, bark, let me go out, and then annoying, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Well, give me a couple of cat sounds from your crew. Give me a couple distinct sounds.
Quiet. Charlotte is the kind of loudest, and she's like a nya, nya. My significant other, he thinks that she says hello like a human. I don't know what it'd be like. Hello? Like, I don't know. He says she swears just like a human. I haven't heard it. So I don't know if this is a ghost cat talk thing or what, but I don't know.
Well, cats have different sounds. Obviously, we've got the hiss, which means back off. But they also sometimes, Casey, my cat, will go, nom, 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 nom. So he's trying to form a sentence. And cats are really only vocal with us more so than other cats or dogs because we're so poor at reading body language. The kitties are like, oh, gosh, now we got to talk because these humans don't know what we're doing with our tails, our eyes, and our ears. But I think the coolest thing a cat does is when they make this sound, when they see a bird, on the tree from their window ledge, and they do, ah, ah, ah. Have you ever heard that from any of your kitties?
No.
And that's a cat saying to the bird, I'm up too. Come here and play with me. So they're trying to lure the bird, but birds have brains, and they're like, oh gosh, hey Fred, do you see that cat over there? Yeah. Doing that stupid cackle? Yeah. He thinks we're stupid enough to come over. So that's the bird version of cat cackle.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I had to do that sound because it's radio, Michelle.
That's a good sound.
Thank you. I've had many years of
really
practice.
Good. Okay. Here is something that is one of those cat things. Why is it that even if you have certain kind of toys for cats, besides your cat tree or other things, the things that they like the best is squishing themselves into a box, like a cardboard box that you've gotten from a delivery, especially during, pandemic times. I've been ordering up a storm because who wants to go anywhere, or who can go anywhere. But whatever the cardboard box is, someone will smush themselves into it that they can't fit in, but they'll just smush themselves into it.
Well, cats actually like being in cozy places tucked in, and they like being wrapped in towels and things like that. It's the cat version of the hug. And for them, they don't think anybody else knows that they're there, so they get to hide. Because when you think about it, unlike dogs, cats are both prey and predator. So they're hunters that don't want to be hunted. So you buy these expensive gifts. I know, I hear you. And you pull them out and you start to play with your kitty. And they're like, I'd rather just jump in the box where they were from. Thank you very much. And so we feel like, really? We just spent all this money. If you just take a paper bag and cut off the handles and put a little hole on the bottom and lay it lengthwise, the kitty will have so much fun blowing in and out of that bag safely on your kitchen floor. So much for the big expensive toys, right, Michelle?
Exactly. I remember the first time I saw my mother-in-law had 2 cats that lived a very long life. But I remember the first time she was throwing plastic bags on the floor, like the grocery kind, the flat, that are flat and everything. And I thought she dropped it. She's like, no, leave it there. Leave it there. And her cats came over and had a blast with them.
Thing about plastic, you got to be careful. So do that with human supervision because you don't want them suffocating or choking because of plastic bags. When we get groceries, the first thing on our kitchen island as we bring in the groceries, Rusty, our newest orange tabby, he's about 1.5 years old, loves wrestling with the plastic bags. You know why? Because plastic bags actually are made with animal protein. And it goes back to their sense of smell. Cats can actually think that those plastic bags are like meat. So it smells like meat. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So just be careful because they can get in trouble. And I am a pet first aid instructor, so I had to put on my safety hat. But yeah, as long as you're supervising them and they're having fun playing, let the play continue, and then just take care of those shredded plastic bags after the show.
Mine are lazy. They sit on them. If anything, they don't do any shredding.
Really? Oh, Rusty wrestles with them. He's a boxing man. He loves it.
Okay, I have a question for you because you, in my mind, you know all cat. And I've seen this around and I just want your take on it. Everything these days is plant-based. And I know we've been talking about funny things, so I think this is a little funny, but everything's plant-based. Plant-based this, plant-based this. I've been a vegetarian for, it'll date me more years than I want to. It's over 25 years. So everything's plant-based. And I've heard crazy things out there, make your dog vegan, make this vegan. But then I've heard, little things. Maybe can you make your cat vegan, which we know is nuts, right?
Yeah, actually, you asked what I do for a living. I write the nutrition column for every issue of Catster magazine, the most circulated cat publication. So I get to interview the leading veterinary nutritionists all over the planet, including holistic ones. And if you look at the cat versus the human, cats are obligate carnivores. They need meat. They need taurine, an essential amino acid. And what's good for the person may not be good for the cat. And you could really mess up their health when you think that they can go meatless, if you will. That said, there are major strides going on with plant-based proteins to be able to keep our planet alive. So I say, go get a fake burger like the Impossible at Burger King, but bring the quality meat to your cat.
Well said. Okay, let's wrap things up. Tell me another one of your favorite quirky cat things.
Well, my cat Rusty is quiet until it's mealtime, and he goes bananas. He does this sound, no, 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 no. And I realized that he was found as an orphan, and food is everything to him. So he goes cray-cray at mealtime. So we actually feed him in his own suite, aka the hallway bathroom with a little placemat, and then we go feed all the other pets.
Oh my gosh.
Otherwise, he goes after food in our 90-pound dog Bujo's bowl, and Bujo's a very sweet dog, but the kibble's as big as the head of Rusty. So once we gave him his own feeding suite and now only let him out after everybody else has the proper time to digest, everything is back to being civilized. But I have never seen a cat go so ballistic when it's mealtime.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, because Dennis will eat dog food, and I don't know if we have to be careful if there's any paper bags, like if the food is in the bag and not in a contained place before, the bag is actually opened.
Yeah.
Because we do feed them some kibble and some wet, because he'll open it.
Oh, yeah. That's why God gave cats claws and sharp teeth.
Yeah. Dennis will open it. He'll open anything, though. We've had to child-proof lock things.
Oh, yeah. Cats are observant learners. They really watch what we do. So they see what we do. They don't have a thumb, but that doesn't stop them. They can manipulate with their claws and their paws. And I know many friends that have cats that you think they have a little kid, but they have child-proof locks because of the cats.
I'll never forget. This is a funny story. When Dennis was very little and he was living with my significant other, and Nikki was very little, they were being pet watched at a friend's house. And she, had some teenagers, husband, big kitchen. And so they were both, housebroken sort of, and they were in the house. They were fine. She woke up one morning. She saw potato chips all over the place and bottles knocked over. And she, oh my gosh, what did my kids do? Would they have a party and I didn't hear them? What in the world? Turned out Dennis opened like 6 cabinets.
Is that what you call chips ahoy?
Yeah, party time.
Yeah.
Well,
think about that. They got salt on there. The cats love that. The one taste that they don't have is sweet. So I want to come back as a cat, so I'll be skinnier because they don't have a taste. They don't have a sweet tooth receptor. Did you know that?
I think I heard that, but
yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. If I didn't like chocolate or something, I'd probably be many sizes smaller, but then, geez, you miss out a little bit there, huh?
That's true. That's true.
Arden, we've gone a while. We might have enough for 2 shows.
We should probably wrap this up. Yeah, but it is fun because the bottom line is if we have a cat or more in our house, in our lives, they make us better humans. They make us laugh And there's always something quirky just around the corner when it comes to having a cat. So I really appreciate being able to talk to you about the felines of the world.
I appreciate you having a chance to talk with you. You know so much about cats and dogs, safety. I know we did a show somewhere way back on Cattitude about feline first aid. You say you've written books. You've written many, many books, and I have some. And it's funny. I was shopping one day and I saw a book about cats and a book about dogs, and I saw the author and I'm like, oh, that's Arden's book. This was years ago too. And I thought, okay, I got to get them. And so how many books have you written to date?
I don't know. I've written over 24 dog and cat books. I'm really excited because during COVID, I got to write my first cat and dog books that were for kids. They're called A Kid's Guide to Cats and A Kid's Guide to Dogs. And it stars throughout the pages my dog Kona and my cat Casey also talking to kids. And there's DIY and fun stuff. We talk about poop and all that fun stuff. And despite COVID, my publisher's elated because we're already in the second printing.
Oh, congrats. Wow, that is fabulous.
There's a lot of kids, stuck at home with parents losing their patience, and they're buying A Kid's Guide to Cats, which yay! So I am happy too, because this year I'm totally revamping 2 of my best-selling books, the Cat Behavior Answer book and the Dog Behavior Answer book. We're getting in about 50% new copy, new look, new information, and it's a Q&A format. So by early 2022, look for these updated versions. They're 2 of my best-selling books, and I'm just very grateful because I still have a lot to learn about cats, Michelle. I still do, but you know what? It's not a bad pursuit. Or is that a pursuit?
But you know what? The books you just described, those are the books I bought. And those are my favorite books because when they're in that kind of format, as I call them, like resource books, there's so much information, like an incredible amount of information. And even I'm kind of a library fiend, but these are the books I happily purchase because there is so much information to go back and reread and educate yourself. And the fact that you're revamping it is like,
yeah, because they came out like 12 years ago, and we have learned so much more about cats that I need to share it. So I'm very excited. I have very strong typing fingers, so look for those books later. But I really appreciate getting to talk with you. And you've got not 1, but 2 shows with Cattitude and Best Bets for Pets on Pet Life Radio. So thank you again, Michelle. This was a good time.
Well, it was great talking to you too, Arden. Tell us real quickly, I'm going to tell everybody real quick, you are the show host of Oh Behave. That's the longest running show on Pet Life Radio. And you also tell us really quickly, Meowie Hour and where people can find that and your website.
Sure. Everybody tune in every Wednesday night between 6 and 7 p.m. Eastern time for Meowie Hour. It airs on Facebook. Just go to the Cat Fancier Association's Facebook page, CFA Cats. And also, if you can't catch it live, don't worry. We post it on YouTube. And it is all about all cats, purebreds and mutt cats. We have guests. And as a licensed bartender, I create a kitty cocktail and we present it at the end of the show. And we all raise a glass and toast to all cats. Finally, just go to ardenmoore.com and you'll find out more.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on Cattitude. Loved having you. I learned so much. It was funny. It was great. Just thank you. And everybody, please tune in to Oh Behave. There's so much great information there. Thank you so much, Arden.
And Rusty's giving us applause.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that show. It is going to go down as one of my favorites. So be sure to check out Oh Behave on Pet Life Radio, hosted by Arden Moore. This has been just a fabulous time talking about cats and kind of on the lighter end. So it's just been great. So thanks to my guest, Arden Moore. Thanks to my super producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound amazing. And thanks to my cat crew, Dennis, Charlotte, Molly, Sammy, and Jethro, for teaching me all about cats. I'm learning every day. And a huge thank you to everyone listening. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for making Cattitude so popular, for all the emails you send, and just for being out there and loving cats. Any messages, comments, whatever, you can reach me at michelle@petliferadio.com. You can find out more visual, anyways, on Instagram at Michelle Fern Pet. So keep listening. Thanks. And we have some great shows coming up.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.